All right, get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Hindu mythology. We're going to be exploring chapter 20 of the Brahma Purana. Specifically, we're focusing on Surya, the sun god. And trust me, this is way more than just a story about the sun.
You got that right. This chapter is like a crash course in Hindu cosmology. It covers everything from the origins of the universe to the nature of the divine, and even the path to liberation, all wrapped up in a dialogue between Brahma, the creator god, and a group of sages who are, well, they're basically knowledge junkies.
So it's like we're eavesdropping on a cosmic lecture.
Yeah.
Getting a glimpse into some pretty high-level stuff. We're picking up the story right after Surya's birth, which is where things start to get really interesting. The chapter paints this picture of the universe before Surya, and let me tell you, it's not exactly the bright, cheery place we're used to.
Yeah, it's more like a cosmic void. Brahma describes it as a universe completely shrouded in darkness. It's called Tamaluna, which basically means a state of primordial chaos, where everything is formless and undifferentiated. And it's not just physical darkness, it's the darkness of ignorance, of inertia. Even the gods were lost in this state. Just think about that.
Wow, so if even the gods were stumbling around in the dark, I can only imagine what it was like for everyone else. Well, I guess there wasn't even a concept of else at that point, right? It sounds like the ultimate cosmic power outage.
It's a powerful imagery, right? And it makes you appreciate Surya's arrival even more. Imagine this. Surya bursts onto the scene, this radiant, glorious being, and instantly banishes the darkness with his light.
Talk about a grand entrance. But it's more than just a cool special effect, right? This is about dispelling that primordial darkness, both literally and metaphorically.
Exactly. It's the shift from potential to actuality, from ignorance to knowledge, all embodied in Surya. And the other gods, well, they're completely blown away. They immediately recognize him as the source of life, the spark that ignited creation. They shower him with these incredible titles, like Adideva, which means the primordial god, and Deva Divakar, the god of gods, the maker of day.
I mean, these names are more than just titles, aren't they? They're packed with this deep sense of awe and reverence. You don't just throw around terms like primordial god for anyone. Surya is obviously a pretty big deal. But what I find really fascinating is that Brahma reveals that he's not just the sun in the sky, he's so much more Veer.
You got it. Brahma explains that Surya's influence touches everything. He's the life force for all beings, from the gods and celestial musicians to humans, serpents, birds, everything. He's the ultimate sustainer. But it goes even deeper than that. Brahma says Surya actually embodies other gods. Brahma himself, Shiva, Vishnu, he's like this all-encompassing divine force.
Wait, hold on. He embodies other gods? I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's the source of all their powers? Or is it more like there are different aspects of him?
That's a great question. It gets to the heart of this idea of interconnectedness in Hindu cosmology. It's not a simple hierarchy. It's more like these deities represent different facets of the same divine reality. And Surya, as the source of light and life, is like the unifying principle that binds it all together.
Okay, that's mind-blowing. So Surya is the source of life. He embodies other gods. And if that wasn't enough, Brahma throws in another curveball. Surya is time itself. He's the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer, the embodiment of the cyclical nature of existence.
It's really a profound concept, and Brahma doesn't stop there. He goes on to describe Surya's cosmic form, and it's truly something to behold.
All right, let's get visual here. What does this cosmic Surya look like?
Picture this. His hands, feet, eyes, head, and mouth are everywhere. Thousands of rays, thousands of faces, thousands of feet and eyes.
Okay, that's a lot to take in. What's the significance of this imagery?
It's about omnipresence. Just as the sun's light reaches every corner of the world, Surya's essence permeates the entire cosmos. It's a powerful way of expressing his infinite nature and his role as the source of all life. But here's where things get interesting. Even the gods are a bit overwhelmed by Surya's intensity. His heat is so powerful that it's unbearable. They actually beg him to tone it down, for the sake of the world.
Wow, so even the gods can't handle the full force of Surya's energy. That really puts things into perspective.
It does. But it's in this moment that we see another side of Surya. His compassion. He listens to their plea and agrees to make his heat more manageable.
So what does he do? Create a giant cosmic dimmer switch?
Not quite, but that would be pretty cool. Instead, he creates the cycle of seasons. The Brahma Purana explains that out of his grace, Surya creates this ebb and flow of heat and cold for the benefit of all beings.
That's incredible. I never thought about the seasons as an act of divine compassion. But it makes so much sense. Surya is this all-powerful being, but he also genuinely cares for creation.
Exactly. And this act of compassion really highlights Surya's role as a refuge. He's not just this untouchable, scorching force. He's powerful, yes, but also deeply benevolent.
Okay, I'm starting to see how Surya is more than just the sun. He's this multifaceted being who embodies light, life, time, and even compassion.
And Brahma drives this point home even further. He says that even those who are riddled with sin can find redemption through Surya. His grace is so vast that it can wash away even the darkest karmas. And here's where it gets really interesting. Brahma says that no amount of ritual or sacrifice can equal the power of pure devotion to Surya.
So rituals and sacrifices are out, and devotion is in. It's a pretty bold statement.
It is, and it speaks to this idea that true liberation comes from a direct connection with the divine, not just outward actions. And that's where the 108 names of Surya come in.
Okay, I'm hooked. We've gone from the universe before light to the God of gods to the power of devotion. All in just a few minutes. Tell me more about these 108 names. What's the big deal?
Well, in many spiritual traditions, names hold power. And in the case of Surya, chanting these names with focus and intention is believed to invoke specific qualities, to connect you to that energy.
So it's like dialing a direct line to different aspects of Surya's power. Okay, I'm intrigued. Sign me up. What are some of these name mantras that really stand out?
All right, let's start with a simple one. Bhaskara, which means shining one. It highlights Surya's radiance, but it goes deeper than just the physical sun, you know? It's about his ability to illuminate the darkness of ignorance as well.
I like that. It's like those aha moments when you suddenly understand something new. Surya, the cosmic light bulb. What else you got?
Then there's Vivasvan, which means the luminous one. This one emphasizes Surya's role as the source of life and vitality. Think of it as the energy that wakes the world up each morning, the spark that gets everything going.
So it's not just light, it's that life-giving energy that flows from it. Okay, I'm feeling energized just thinking about it. Give me another one.
Okay, how about Hanvantari, which means the physician?
Wait, the sun god is also a healer.
Yes. Dhanvantari is actually the god of medicine in Hindu mythology, so this name connects Surya to the power of healing, both physically and spiritually. It's a reminder that the sun's rays have this incredible ability to nourish and revitalize us.
That makes sense. Think about how good it feels to just bask in the sun. Especially on a cold day. It's like an instant mood booster. So we've got light, life, healing. What other surprises do Surya's names hold?
Well, here's one that speaks to Surya's cosmic significance. Dhumketu, which means comet.
A comet. Now that's unexpected.
Right, but comets were seen as celestial messengers, harbingers of change and transformation. So this name points to Surya's role in driving the cycles of time and creation. He's not static, he's always in motion, evolving, just like the cosmos itself.
So Surya isn't just about steady, constant sunlight. He's also got this dynamic, ever-changing energy, like a cosmic dance. It's that balance of stability and change, light and darkness that we see throughout Hindu cosmology.
You got it. And some of his names bring this idea of time into sharp focus. Take Kala Chakra, for example, which means the wheel of time.
Whoa, that one sounds intense.
It is. It reminds us that everything is cyclical. Everything comes and goes. But Surya remains, this constant witness to it all. It's a powerful perspective shift, wouldn't you say?
It definitely makes you think about the bigger picture, the ebb and flow of life. It's a good reminder to appreciate each moment while it lasts.
Okay, what about a name that connects us back to the idea of Surya as the life giver?
Well, there's Brahmapurana, which means the sustainer of life.
That one feels very grounding, very essential.
It is. It highlights Surya's role as the giver of prana, that vital life force that animates all beings. When we breathe in the fresh air, feel the warmth of the sun, we're connecting with that energy.
It's like we're plugging into this universal power source.
Yeah.
And Surya is holding the master switch.
Exactly. And Brahma tells us that by chanting these 108 names with purity and focus, we can tap into that power, experience Surya's grace, and ultimately find liberation from suffering. Okay, that's a pretty big claim. So chanting these names can lead to liberation. Sign me up for a chanting class. But seriously, is it really that simple?
Well, it's not just about reciting the names like a grocery list. Remember what Brahma said about the importance of devotion? It's about the intention behind the chant, the heartfelt connection you cultivate with Surya.
So it's more about internalizing the qualities that these names represent, cultivating our own inner light, so to speak.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that divine spark within ourselves and allowing it to shine. And the 108 names of Surya give us a framework, a language, to connect with that inner light.
This is incredible. But how does this ancient wisdom apply to our lives today? I mean, most of us aren't chanting mantras all day long.
That's a great question, and it's something we'll unpack as we continue our deep dive.
All right, I'm all ears. This conversation is already shedding so much light on things I never even considered before.
It really is. And it's easy to get caught up in the details, but it's important to remember the big picture here.
Right, like what's the takeaway message for our listeners?
While the Brahma Purana isn't just presenting Surya as this distant deity, it's inviting us to embark on our own inner journey, to awaken our own inner sun.
I love that, our own inner sun. But where do we even begin?
It starts with self-reflection. What aspects of ourselves need to be illuminated? What limiting beliefs or negative patterns are keeping us in darkness? Surya, as the dispeller of darkness, can be a powerful guide.
So instead of just focusing on external rituals, we're turning inward, looking at our own inner landscape and asking, where's my inner Surya? How can I help it shine brighter?
Exactly. And, the 108 names of Surya, well, they can be a helpful tool in this process. Each name points to a different quality or aspect of Surya's nature. By contemplating these names, we can start to cultivate those qualities within ourselves.
It's like using these names as a mirror to reflect on our own strengths and weaknesses. If Surya is the sustainer of life, how am I sustaining myself and those around me? If he's the shining one, how can I let my own light shine brighter?
Yeah, it's about finding those personal connections, those points of resonance between Surya's attributes and our own lives. It's a journey of self-discovery and transformation, guided by the wisdom of this ancient text.
This deep dive has been truly eye-opening. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on the sun, on Hindu mythology, and even on myself.
It's amazing what we can learn from these ancient stories, right? They're not just myths, they're timeless teachings that can guide us.
So to our listener, we encourage you to explore Surya's story and see what resonates with you. What inner sun are you ready to awaken? What darkness are you ready to dispel?
The journey starts within, and the power of Surya, the cosmic principle of light and life, is always there to guide you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.